think Henry Cox wants to avoid those booms.
He's paranoid about them. I mean, I think the crews do get pushed away just at the end of the island. Nice long first stroke from the Russians.
Yeah, getting that first stroke is always important. You don't want to be unsettled. You want to be able to apply that power, get it nice, strong. There we go for Harvard. Push it away, solid back end. There we go, get the rate up. So nice attacking, great ace racing is what you want to see. So both crews going full throttle. You can see them having to turn. It came close, and now they're moving apart. So the Russian going close to the booms. Oh, the stroke looking over. Focus on your boat. Don't look at the opposition. So here we go. Right, first from the first 100 meters, flat out. Who's going to take the first couple of covers? Who's going to get the momentum? Who's going to fight for that early bit of the lead?
Harvard were 159 to the barrier yesterday. I don't know if Petersburg, that's about the first 2 minutes of the race. If you're with us on BT Sport, it's me, Martin Cross, talking with Tom James, double Olympic champion, as co-commentator. And, well, Harvard were 3 seconds quicker than this crew. It was so windy yesterday, we can't read a lot into the times, but the Russians have an enormous amount of power. Pavel Podolsky, we're looking at him, the stroke man there behind him, Ivan Gusev. They're in the Russian under-23 8, finished third in the World Championships behind Germany and Russia, posted a 5:38 to take that bronze medal. And, well, they've got the power of Alexei Alexeyev. He's 1, 2, 3 from the right of your screen. Biggest mate, you see him shoving it down on the erg, 550 on the erg, Tom.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of horsepower in that Russian boat. You can see them, it was solid. Both crews have settled, they're into their rhythm. Neither crews look like they're having to over-chase it, so it looks like they're both at a consistent speed, and they're both going similar at the moment. I see Harvard taking a couple of inches of stroke. They're now just moving out. Russians at the moment, you don't want to tense up. Keep those shoulders loose. Okay, you've got to be racy, aggressive, but don't get tense. Don't, as Harvard slip away, you need to be able to respond. You stay responding by keeping loose.
There's a lot on the finish in that boat, isn't there? A real sort of heave in the middle of the boat, but it's very effective, it looks like.
Yeah, when you've when you've got a lot of horsepower, there's different ways of getting it down. But
what was your preference?
I never had any horsepower. Get someone big and just make sure they, their blades in the water.
So Liam Corrigan, we're looking at him in the stroke of the Harvard crew. The crews are very close together, and you can hear the umpire warning the crews to separate. And I don't know if that is Boris Rankov, the umpire. It may well be. He's disqualified a crew already this morning, Boris Rankov, and both crews will know this. Harvard have got a handy lead. They're on the right of your picture. The men from Russia to Petersburg in orange, extremely distinctive. The crimson from Harvard there. We're looking at this stroke man, Pavel Podolsky, all 14 stone 2 of him. Behind him, the massive bulk of Ivan Gusev. If these men are going to do anything, it will be them who will drag their crew back into contention.
Yeah, I think just looking at the Harvard boat, it's a bit more consistent. You can see that there's a bit of stable platform in there. Finishing the stroke off well. There we go. They just sit. You can see it's consistent. You can see it's in control, and they're able just to get that power down without having to chase or pressure themselves onto the front end. But the Russians, they're going to have to move soon. Otherwise, the last closing bit of the races, they're going to lose. They're going to lose touch, and they're going to have to respond in the next 30 seconds to a minute.
Good shot of Sam Mayer right furthest away from him in the Harvard boat. Of course, rode here for Westminster School last year. In front of him is Adam James, so strong in the juniors. I think he held one of the junior records at 5:58 for 2K on the ergo, and with talent like that in the boat. Also in the 6-man, he's between the 2-man wearing peak caps. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 back. 4th man back from the Cops. His dad, well, his name is Henry Kennelly. His dad, Richard, he rode in the same Olympics as me back in Seoul for the USA. He got a silver medal in the 1988 Olympics. So like father, like son, there's a lot of good genes going on in that crew, a lot of good technique, but they haven't broken Petersburg yet. No,
St. Petersburg have actually moved back. I think they've taken about a quarter of a length from the last minute, so they've responded. And, we're coming up into the last couple of minutes of the race. This is actually going to be getting down a little bit tight.
What do you put that down to? I mean, how come they moved back? Harvard were looking so good.
You never know how much a crew's really giving. And Harvard look good, they look strong and solid, but maybe they're just putting a bit more power down. They've taken that early bit of the race. That's what you'd expect to do in an ace race. You want to take the initiative, you want to get in front and control it. But the Russians, okay, it was a bit more say aggressive early on. It looked like they put all their energy in, but they had to respond, and now they've responded. It just depends whether they've still got the amount of energy to keep in touch and challenge Harvard in the last couple of minutes.
There's the Harvard crew, and their stroke man Liam Corrigan is able to look back. At St. Petersburg, he'll know they're in contact. He'll know they have to keep something, Harvard, for the end. The St. Petersburg boys, some of them have worked with the famous British coach Mike Spraplin, now the chief coach of the Russian team. He's had a look at them in the under-23s. He said he told me it was a bit too demanding for them to get into his national team boat going to the Rio Olympics. Of course, the Russian 8 will race in Rio, but the Crimsons there from Harvard, the junior varsity, their second boat in effect, have almost clear water now, Tom.
Yeah, so I think into this closing stage for St. Petersburg, it was just a little bit too far distance to close back. They've still got a little bit more to run, but it's going to be very hard if they want to close it back. They're going to have to put something very special in, and then you can see looking down the boat, a bit tired faces. They put in a lot of effort, slightly a bit ragged now, just coming off the back end, a few blades clipping. Harvard still looking strong and consistent off the back end. They're both still running well.
Great shot there, the packed stewards grandstand in the enclosures. You saw the umpire's boat in the background, and you hear the applause now. Tens of thousands of people in the enclosures down this end of the bank, and tens of thousands of people up the bank on both sides, really. And they're watching on the right-hand side the Crimsons of Harvard University's second crew. A lot of British talent in that crew, a lot of foreign talent as well. You've got Achim Harting there, the German in the 3-seat. But these guys are unbeaten in the States at that level, and they are unbeaten here so far. They're going to take this heat of the Temple Challenge Cup for University 8s from St. Petersburg University. There you see the men in orange, and it's Harvard who dominated this race, taken that title, and congratulations to them. The Russians, well, they had an easy race yesterday, but they got through the heat. Not today. Harvard give the 3 cheers, and St. Petersburg, well, they have to suffer and think what they're going to do with the rest of their day. So, victory to Harvard, defeat for St. Petersburg.